Versatile because I don't like to put myself in the box of like, oh, I'll only wear brands like these brands. I'll only wear these type of silhouettes.
Right.
I think when it comes to fashion or when it comes to any forms of self-expression, I think to be open-minded and to just like be open.
Hi everyone, my name is Ainish and I have a very special guest with me here. He goes by the name Young Raja and we are at Nykaaland. Your style is as bold as your music. So how important is fashion to you as a form of self-expression?
I feel like music and fashion goes hand in hand. It's a great question, but I love talking about this, right? Because like I was born into a family with 3 sisters. My mom, my late grandma was a very matriarchal house, and I was born late. So by the time I was born, I was the baby in the house.
Right.
So my sisters had a lot of fun, like dressing me up and like just and I had the best time, like going through their wardrobe and like styling myself. So for me growing up, I had a lot of fun, like just playing dress up and just styling myself. So by the time I became an artist, I learned that music and fashion kind of goes hand in hand because they're both 2 very strong pillars of self-expression.
Right.
And especially hip-hop art, like hip-hop, in the world of hip-hop, rappers, if you see all the iconic like rappers, right, like Pharrell, Kanye, Jay-Z,
ASAP.
Like, they have such a strong and well-defined sense of individuality and a very unique sense of style. For me, the first person that inspired me in that way was Rajinikanth, superstar Rajinikanth.
Right.
So as a kid watching Talavar movies, I'm like, wow, like he's a Tamil man, but he's so swagged out. So after Rajinikanth, it was 50 Cent and Eminem and like those guys from that side of the world, right? Like the rappers, like hip hop. Those were like my worlds of influences and inspirations, and it laid the foundation for my own understanding of like how I can kind of grow into the artist that I want to be, and I've had the best time like kind of exploring my own sense of style, my own sense of individuality.
Right.
And it's an honor, it's a pleasure, man, because I make music, and then sometimes I also get opportunities to do fashion shoots for magazines and all that. And personally, I love it because the more shoots I've done, the more shoots I do, the more I try different vibes or whatever, the more I learn about what speaks to me, what aligns with me, and what is true to me.
Right.
I find that very fulfilling because it is a process of exploring one's taste.
Right.
And I feel like, to answer your question, I'm so sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but to answer your question, I feel like music and fashion, meaning sense of style, is hand in hand, and I don't think you can separate
them. Right.
Yeah.
And since you've mentioned, your fashion is a self-expression, if you have to describe your sense of style in 3 words, what would it be and why?
Clean. Clean.
That's
clean, because versatile because I don't like to put myself in the box of like, oh, I'll only wear brands like these brands, I'll only wear these type of silhouettes.
Right.
I think when it comes to fashion or when it comes to any forms of self-expression, I think to be open-minded and to just like be open about your tastes, I think that's very important. So like versatility and boldness is important because when you're piecing yourself together, it is how you are choosing to present yourself to the world.
Right.
And you have the choice to be bold, like why not? You have the choice to be heard, to be seen. Why not be bold, right? So I like that. And clean is something that is important too, because it's such a fine line between wearing all these branded stuff and then like being too much, right?
Right.
But it's such a tasteful thing when you know how to piece yourself just right, and it's not going above that line where it becomes too much, So to look clean while still being stylish, it's like I feel like that's a special skill set.
Right.
I always think about it like, so yeah, those 3 words.
And you mentioned about, being in a very matriarchal household.
Yeah,
so
extremely.
Have you, taken any beauty tips from your sisters, and that's something that you still incorporate in your style or in your skincare routine or in your beauty routine before you get on stage? Any such tip that you're still inculcating in your routine still now?
Beauty routines before I get on stage. Generally, I think I have a very nicely formed relationship with self-care.
Okay.
Like I do take care of myself. I do wear sunscreen. Like I do have my own like little makeup bag that I have. Like I always carry with me when I'm traveling for photo shoots or like for fashion show or anything.
Right.
Like I do my own makeup. And I kind of picked that from my sisters, you know. My sisters, my mom, they would like spend so much time putting themselves together, right? Like whether it's makeup or wearing nice clothes.
Clothes, right.
And my mom would always tell me this, like she always said this thing called al padi ade padi.
Okay.
She's always said this thing to me, like a quote,
Okay.
which is in Tamil. The direct translation is, the person is half and the outfit is the other half.
Oh.
Like that's how important it is, because it's how people perceive you, right?
Right.
It's like you have the choice to present yourself however you want to be seen and want to be heard. Like, and I got that from my mom, and it became very foundational. So before a show, or actually before anything actually, whether it's a music video shoot or before a show, before anything that is like my work, right?
Right.
I'm pulling up somewhere. I always remember that, like when I'm you know getting ready and all, I think about that. Like I'm not trying to impress somebody else.
Yes. Right.
My most important thing in my mind is I want to feel great. I want to feel absolutely amazing, and everybody has that option, right? Like, you know, we can figure out what that is like. For you, it might be a different thing. For me, it might be a different thing. Everybody has their thing, you know. And I feel like I always lean on that. Whether it's a show, whether it's a photo shoot or whatever, I think that foundation that I got from my sisters and my mom, like I see them, I grew up seeing them like putting so much effort, take so much time in making sure that they feel great. And when I was in school, I used to be very chubby, and I was nothing like this, you know.
Okay.
I was a kid that was bullied, like all the girls, and then none of the girls took me seriously. They always pinch my cheeks, like, oh, so cute. I'm like, I don't want to be cute, man. I want to be dope. So for me, going through like my growing up years, like I struggled with confidence. I struggled with self-esteem. I was a kid that was bullied in school, and for me, like understanding my own sense of like individuality, understanding my own idea of style, my own idea of like how I want to be seen, and then becoming an artist, and then that giving me an opportunity for me to redefine how I want to be. So it goes back to my childhood for like all those foundational things that I saw growing up. So yeah, I hope that answers.
Yes. Also, one more thing is, like, you know, as a musician, a lot of time what happens is, like, you know, as a male musician specifically, a lot of people, or there's still a stigma about, you know, not taking care of yourself. How do you come up with that? Like, you know, as an artist, you're putting out your music to the world. Is there any beauty philosophy that you have on your own beliefs and something that you'd like to tell us?
Oh my God, like taking care of yourself, I think is the most important thing. And I feel like men generally don't talk about this enough, I feel, you know. I have never understood that. Like, for me, like I grew up in such a, you know, I grew up in that kind of a household, and I don't subscribe to the super masculine, like, oh, if I'm a man, then I shouldn't be talking about this and that. I never align with that. That I don't relate with that.
Right.
I personally feel like taking care of yourself, whether it's your skin, whether it's your health, whether it's your mind, your spirit, your body, it's holistic. It is all one topic. Like taking care of yourself is the most important thing. And of course, you look good, you feel great, you're doing your best. Like that's fact, right? That's a fact. We all talk about that.
Right.
Everybody says that.
Right.
You look good, you feel good, right? But this is a very like stigmatized conversation, and I personally don't understand why it's that way. For me, like I have my own skincare routine. Like I exfoliate my face once a week. Like, you know what I mean? I have a proper like set of, you know, products that I have at home. And I take great pride in that. To look great is not just about like looking great, it's more of like the feeling great. And I feel like if we can feel great every day, that's a win, no? Like that's
right.
And I, in my own way, with whatever platform that I have in my journey. I actually do want to do my best to try to break that stigma, to make it less stigmatized for men to talk about these type of things, you know, like I've done so many crazy things in my career. I've painted my nails, like I've worn nail polish, like crazy shit. Like I've colored my hair,
yes,
crazy. I've worn bindi, like you know what I mean? Like as a Tamil man, I could feel the energy, you know, when I step into certain rooms and the way they look at me, they're like, oh, I see. So just because I paint my nails, you're gonna look at me like, I see. That's society, right? But I'm an artist, and as an artist, I'm blessed with the platform. I'm blessed with the ability to have a voice and to say what I want to say and to speak my mind or express myself the way I want to express. So at the back of my mind, I'm like, it's a part of my goal. I have a lot of goals, but one of my goals is to challenge that, you know, in my own ways. Yeah, I feel like it's a wonderful thing. Why not? Sorry.
Okay, and since you mentioned about goals, do you see yourself launching your own beauty, skincare, or own styling brand?
100,000%. One day I'll have my own beauty brand.
Okay.
Skincare, like men's stuff. I mean, could be men's, female, whatever. Like my own fashion brand, my clothing brand. I'll have my own furniture brand.
Okay.
Maybe a makeup brand that is like for men also. Like why not? Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yes.
My own nail polish brand. Why not? Right. Imagine if I like release a nail polish and then I make it like a thing. I think ASAP Rocky or someone did it.
Right. Yes.
So it's kind of the trend is changing. You know?
Right.
So 100% to answer your question, I definitely have that.
I can't wait for this to happen. Thank you so much, young Raja, and wishing you all the best. Hopefully one day or the next time I meet you, it's going to be interviewing for your own brand. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
94.3 Radio 1.